What's up, fellas? What's up?
What's
Going
going
strong
on?
podcast. How y'all
Reese
doing
Will.
today? Doing
Good,
good.
man. Yeah,
Doing
man.
good, man.
What you think about them Buckeyes?
What we say? OH.
I-O.
Oh, baby, oh.
Can't say that without saying national champions.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So we had a big trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers traded for DeAndre Hunter. Now, I would love to get you guys' reactions to it. So first question I want to ask you guys is, how does DeAndre Hunter's does he fit with the Cavs core? What you think? I mean, I know y'all haven't seen him yet, but what's your Dre? Start off with you this time.
Yeah, 100%. He's exactly what they've been needing for a long, long time. I think I commented on this show a few episodes back about how the Cavs had never really drafted a small forward or had a small forward since LeBron. I mean, think about it, he's the first legitimate three we didn't have in Cleveland since LeBron James, this LeBron James era. So, I think he definitely fits the need. You can put him in there in the starting lineup. He's 6'8". He's got a 7'2" wingspan. He can guard, multiple positions. You're gonna need him. The Cavs have traditionally struggled against some of those longer teams, and we lost 2 games to the Rockets. They're a long, athletic team. We lost we lost a couple games to the Celtics. They're long and athletic. We lost to the Hawks with DeAndre Hunter. They were a long and athletic team. So I mean, don't take a rocket science to figure out you have a need there. I think for what they got him for, they didn't have to spend a lot of their resources. And as far as him being the fit, him and Ty Jerome are best friends. They played ball together at Virginia. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, from everything I hear, he's a great teammate, great guy. Just what the Cavs need, it's a win-win-win all across the board.
And that's awesome. That's awesome. So, Freak, what you think? What's your
I
thoughts?
love the pickup too. Like I said, he's versatile. He can put the ball on the floor, make some plays. Good defender. The only thing I ask you guys is, are you going to start him or do you start Max Strus? Because I still like Max Strus. Strus, Strus, the way he plays, the hustle plays, I guess it really doesn't matter. But would you start DeAndre or would you bring him off the bench and continue starting Max Strus?
I would start DeAndre.
You start him?
I like how he looks in that lineup, man. I mean, he just looks like looking at this lineup, man. Look at this lineup. This is not that lineup. Like, look at this lineup, man. This is a beautiful lineup right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
good size lineup too,
man. That's beautiful. So I don't, and all of them under 30 years old. So this is, what you think, Andre?
I say start. I mean, dude averaging 19 points a game off the bench for Atlanta right now.
Right.
I mean, I watched Strus this year, and he struggles to get 10 points a game, man. I mean, he's streaky. He can provide you some grit and some toughness off the bench. Keep in mind, somebody's got to step into the Karis LeVert role. I think Strus is more proficient for that role, coming off the bench, give you some scoring. I think it actually opens up some playing time. More playing time for Ty Jerome to be your secondary. One of your secondary ball handlers when he comes off the bench, and then you also got the rookie. They drafted Jalen Tyson to be LeVert. I mean, and he was doing better LeVert over the last 3 weeks than LeVert had. LeVert's been really down like the last month, man. I was glad they shipped him out, to be honest with you, because he was starting to agitate me. So, I mean, great. I like him as a player, but the inconsistency just drove me crazy. So I think, you're gonna bring in a guy who feels a need. I mean, he can score, he can defend. I mean, I just like that 6'8" next to Mobley and Allen, man. And again, 7'2" wingspan. It's gonna be hell to pay the captain and try to go down the lane and score against the Cavs, man. I'm loving it, man. I think you start them. You still got some tools off the bench to use. You can, Dean Wade can come off the bench as well. Fill that second team role. So, and I don't think they're done either. They They may sign a buyout guy or two. They got, they still have 2 open roster spots that they can fill.
Well,
Right.
Freak. Well, what do you think about the what does this mean for the Cavaliers playoff push? Does this make a difference? Does it make
It
us
makes a big difference because the thing in the playoffs, last year, what the Cavs struggled with was they didn't have enough guys that could beat people off the dribble. So with Hunter, he's another guy that can put the ball on the floor and he can get to the rim. And when he gets to Cleveland, we're gonna see how well he passes because if he can pass the ball well, that'll even be better because the way the Cavs move the ball. Last year in the playoffs, man, we got to remember, and Donovan and probably Jared Allen and maybe Evan Mobley, everybody else, even Garland, they all struggled in the playoffs.
right? Right.
They struggled in the playoffs. So, I like DeAndre. I love his size. And the only thing I was saying about with Max Strus starting is like DeAndre. I don't want to say he needs the ball a lot, but he's a good creator. He can score. And I don't know how much he would score with Darius and Donovan on the floor, all three of them together. But I mean, it may not make a difference because all of them could, take a step back and work together. I was just saying with Strus, Strus is a hustle player. He's a good, he's a streaky shooter, but he can get hot. And then you can bring DeAndre off the bench, and then he could be the focal point off the bench. That's the only thing I was thinking. But either way, I love the deal.
Right.
I didn't think Atlanta was going to trade DeAndre Hunter. I was kind of surprised when I heard about it. But Atlanta started free falling in the standings, and that's they let go of DeAndre. Then Jalen Johnson and one player got hurt.
Right.
But hey man, Cavs is all in.
Well, what you think, Dre? Do you think what do you think about as far as the playoff push with DeAndre on?
Again, back to I think starting Strus starts us off at a disadvantage because I just think, some games you could start him, but I think because he's only about 6'4", 6'5" tops. I just think that's a whole. I don't think Strus would have been starting if Wade wouldn't have gotten hurt. I think they would have stayed with Wade and brought Strus off the bench. So I think now that Wade is another story. He's not dependable as far as being staying healthy and stuff like that. So, but you'll have him and Okoro. It's another name I've forgotten about. This gives those guys opportunity to get healthy, and they can bring them off the bench in certain situations. But the Cavs, as a team, as a whole, legitimately the number 1 seed record in the league right now. They should probably be able to secure that record, that finish number 1, and that's going to be a big benefit for them. A young team that they made it to the second round last year, but they really haven't had a ton of playoff success. Being able to have that home court advantage throughout the playoffs, and maybe throughout all the playoffs, depending on how things shake out with OKC,
Right.
a big deal for them.
Because man, like New York is number 3. If you can keep the Celtics and let them play each other, because if I'm the Cavs, I don't want to see the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
I take my chances with the Pacers. I know they made the Bucks and the Pacers. I take my chances with either one of them. I know Kyle Kuzma got traded to the Bucks, but we'll see how that plays out. The Pacers are up and down a lot, so I kind of, in that if they played each other, that'd be a good playoff round. So I just take my chances with them. But if I can avoid the Celtics or the Knicks into the Eastern Conference Finals, I think that would be huge.
Well, Dre, do you think the Cavs overpaid, or was that a steal? The Hawks, was that a steal?
Oh, that was definitely a steal, man. They only gave up. LeVert was a trade piece this year, all year. We talked about that earlier in the year that with his expiring contract. The Cavs are getting to the point where these extensions are going to be kicking in. You got Mobley's extension kicking in. They just re-up Donovan. They re-upped Allen, and then Darius is on max player. He's the highest paid Cavalier all time at this particular point. So they had to save some money by letting LeVert go. So they end up bringing in a guy who feels a need, They ended up giving up Niang, which I actually do like Niang and his grit, but
I like
they had
yours
to
too.
throw him into the deal. And what this did for us, the Cavs actually getting into the minutia of things. They had to make a deal because they were like $2.5 million into the second apron, and with the whole luxury tax situation, if they didn't shed that money, they would be taxed tremendously going into next year as a repeat offender, and that definitely affects your ability to make moves going forward. So they wanted to get underneath that cap. So when they made this move, not only did they not give up a lot, but they actually got underneath the cap, and they got 2 roster spots, but they got enough money to bring in guys from the buy-in market. So they really helped themselves out, because now it stops that window on the clock, which means they can keep the team together another year or 2 longer, because they don't start that timer on that repeat offender clock. So that was significant. That's a small move behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really recognize, but it was tremendous to be able to upgrade your team and to do that. For example, with the they say when you hit that second apron, you want your team to be completely whole.
Right.
A team that did it the wrong way is like Phoenix. Phoenix got, they ended up bringing in Durant, they brought in Beal to go with Booker, and when they brought in those guys, their team wasn't whole yet. And now they're starting to feel the pinch of that, not being able to make moves, and not because they're a repeat offender on that tax. Well, all of a sudden they're trying to get rid. They're gonna have to trade the Beal. They were looking maybe at trading KD. They can't make moves now because their team's not whole, so they kind of stuck in the rut. They spent all that money and got nothing to show for it. That's another reason why
they went all in. And when you go out, you got to win the title.
Yep.
And Phoenix went all in, and they lost in the first round and second round.
Yep.
So it's like,
and this is all due to that CBA, that new CBA they signed. Reed. So like Boston's owner's selling their team. He's trying to sell the Sixers. Their payroll is like $400 million with all the money he paying in taxes and all that stuff. So
I think Tatum and Brown making over $300 million.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So, but see, they won. So it's like, you can eat it if you win. Don't hurt as bad. Golden State went through it. You got to win though.
If
you don't win, it's a bust. So, but no, I love that, and that's an awesome point that a lot of people don't talk about, because I like Niang. Niang was having a really good season for the Cavs, and Niang is durable. And when they traded him, I was thinking maybe they would trade Wade or maybe a Coral, but they gave up Niang, and then when they did that to get under the second apron, as Andre was saying. So I was like, I get it. And then DeAndre, like I said, he fits the timeline. 27 years old, he fits that timeline of where the Cavs are for the next couple years.
Under contract for a couple more years, so the Cavs are set. They got all this young core. That picture that you just put up, Reese Will. They got that whole core signed for the next next 3 years. For the next 3 years, at least. So wrapped up. So man, we can look forward to some exciting basketball in Cleveland, man. Going forward, man. The Cavs are the team to beat, and I look forward to seeing what they do with the buyout market as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, if DeAndre could come in with the hot hand and hit his threes, because he might not have as many opportunities on offense as he did in Atlanta, because in the 6-man role, he just had more opportunity. So with the Cavs, I mean, you might not get as many opportunities, but if you can cash in on the opportunities that you get, it's going to push the team up. And then you can play him at the 4. You can play big with him. You can play him at the 2. So it's like a lot of versatility with DeAndre. So I'm excited. I was already into the Cavs, even if they didn't make a trade. But I do like DeAndre, and if this works, man, we might be celebrating in June, just like we did in January with the Buckeyes.
With the Buckeyes, baby. So, but that lineup do look nice, man. That's a nice looking lineup right there. But but as far as y'all heard anything about the trade rumors and what's next for the Cavs, are they looking to do anything else? You heard anything?
Well, the only thing now, the trade deadline is over. So the only thing you can do to enhance your team is sign somebody that's on a buyout, sign free agent. So
I
seen with Ben Simmons. I know that
he ended up going to the Clippers. I just didn't see where he would have where he would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Kobe Altman, I just think he's just liked him for
Mhm.
whatever reason. I like Ben. It's just Ben can't stay healthy, and Ben doesn't have an offensive game. So I don't
Mhm.
know how that would have. I don't even think he would have played for the Cavs. So him going to the Clippers is probably a better situation for him. But like I said, just going forward, man, if they can keep Garland. I was really tough on Garland last season because I thought he underachieved, and he was hurt, and he said he was going through some personal stuff, so I
Mhm.
let it go. But man, Garland's been tremendous this year,
Mhm. Mhm.
tremendous. I think Garland might make All NBA this year.
Yep.
He's
Oh
been
yeah.
that good. So
Yep.
if he can continue to just continue to play, and Donnie playing good ball. Evan Mobley's been amazing. Amazing. And then Jared's capable, of 10, 15 rebounds a game. And the way the Cavs move the ball, man, like you get Sam Merrill coming off the bench. I call Sam Merrill white bread. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam come up, man. Sam get to hitting them threes and everything. And the way the Cavs move the ball, their ball movement is so good. Everybody touches the ball. And the one thing I like about the Cavs, everybody can make a play. Like either one of the bigs, they can throw lobs to each other, big, or they can swing the ball to the corner or the wing and then not necessarily shoot. They can create,
Mhm.
So just the way they play, man, it's gonna be a good spring. I know
So
we're gonna be ready.
so what do
Yep.
you think? Y'all consider this a W or L for the trade? So what y'all putting? What
Oh,
y'all putting?
big W, man.
Yeah,
Big
it's a
W.
big W.
Gigantic W. I mean, they couldn't have did no
Yeah.
better. I mean, I think Charles Barkley said it. The Cavs
Yeah.
made out of the contenders, they made the best move out of anybody in the league, man. I mean, you got a guy again. You needed to fit a need, and you banged it. The only guy they probably could have picked up that would have made you even more excited might have been Cam Johnson. But other than that, I mean, they hit the ball on the head, man. And one thing I do want to say is the fact that this team, I love the chemistry in this team. And if you get a chance to go back and watch that play where Garland hit that long three to
Oh,
beat the Pistons at the end of the game, I just want you to take one. Because remember, Niang was the guy that passed Garland the ball because he
Yeah.
inbounded it to Niang and he flipped it back to Garland. But when the Garland hit that three, and it break your heart because you got to have you're sympathetic towards the guys and they bond and the team chemistry because LeVert been there
Yeah.
for a while,
Yeah.
Yang been there. But if you see the look on their faces when Garland hit that shot and how they were just out there celebrating and feel, this team love each other, man. And then the next day, imagine you get that phone call you've been traded, man. That's some deep stuff when you really think about it, man. That's the life of a professional athlete,
Dude,
man.
that's the business, though.
You
You know
know,
what I'm saying? That's the
Niang said
business.
he said when you get a call at 1:00 in the afternoon on trade deadline day from you see it's from the front office. They usually ain't calling to see how you doing.
oh, that ain't something, man. I do make you feel bad, man, because he Garland hit that shot and hit across the arms, man, and he looked at everybody like what? Like what? What's
Yeah.
up?
And the best thing about about Garland's been closing games. Not some nights it's not Donovan. You know what I'm saying? It's Garland, and there's night where Donovan gives Garland the ball. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like Garland, he's gonna make the play.
Yep.
And like that's growth. You know what I'm saying? To see him, and then Garland taking control because I've always felt Darius Garland is a 22-12 or 22-10 guy. That's who he is. He's not an
Right.
18-9 guy. He's a 22-10 guy, shooting good shots from the three, getting to the rim and finishing and things like that. So I'm just like I said, man, I'm excited about the way the Cavs are playing. I do want them to slow down a little bit and be a better defensive team as the season winds down because we're not, in the playoffs. It's a slower paced game, so we might not be able to get out and run as much. So we have to be a good defensive team. But like I said, man, I think if DeAndre is what I think he is, as far as being a good corner 3-point shooter, a guy that can put the ball on the floor and make a play, and he can open up plays for Garland and Mitchell, then man, this is going to be really, really exciting.
And he's known for his defense, though. All that stuff you
Right.
mentioned,
Went
and
to
he's known for
Virginia.
his defense. So that, I
Yeah,
mean,
you know, Virginia, that's what they did over there. They play
right,
defense.
right. That put the nail on the head right there.
Ty Jerome's been great. He's another dude we probably got to give a shout out to Ty Jerome.
Oh yeah.
Ty Jerome made the Karis LeVert trade a little easier because of the way he's been playing. You get Ty Jerome playing great. Craig Porter Jr. Shout out CPJ. He's been phenomenal when he's called upon too. So, I mean, a lot of, you know, like I said, I like Karis, but I seen the develop even with Jalen Tyson. You know, the way he's developing, he just makes people expendable. Like, hey man, you got this dude, you know, and they get more time. So,
right. What Douglas is always, man. He's always follows on the show, man. I really appreciate Douglas, man. He
they
has
did want Tyson and Porter too. Yep.
right. They did want him. So yeah, I know a couple of tweets out there that I was going to read. I know a couple of people said great move at the perfect time. And it was a lot of Hawks fans that was PO'd, man.
Hey man, what's Atlanta doing? What is Atlanta doing? I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because they're
lost
not
7
taking
in a row.
They're not
and
taking.
I think that's what kind of changed everything. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're not taking though, because think about it.
No,
they gave San Antonio their first round pick in next year's draft to get what's his name? They got this guy from San Antonio, the guard they got from San Antonio.
Fox.
No, the guy from San Antonio, the shooting guard came to Atlanta. I want
Deontay.
All these
Dejounte towards Achilles last week.
They gave up their number one pick, and it's unprotected. So if they mess around and that lottery ball hits up, and you could talk about you could be seeing the San Antonio Spurs drafting Cooper Flag.
Facts. But see, Atlanta is weird with them because Jalen Johnson, their one guy, he gets hurt.
Yeah, he was cold too. He was doing his thing.
So
he was cold.
I think Atlanta's like maybe 2 or 3 games above 500. He gets hurt, they lose 7 in a row.
And
I'm like, I didn't think they were going to trade Hunter though, because I'm like, Hunter was playing good ball for you, and you still kind of in the play-in 8th seed kind of. You're still there. So I didn't really think when they said DeAndre Hunter was available, I was kind of like, really?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would take DeAndre over Cam Johnson just because DeAndre is a better defender.
Right.
I think Cam Johnson's a better shooter, but I think DeAndre is a better defender.
Agreed.
So,
100.
But I didn't know he was available. Dude, I didn't know he was available prior to like 2 or 3 days.
Right.
You know, when they started talking about it, but I didn't even know he was available.
Man, that was like I said, I think that was a steal. I think it was a steal, man. He was putting up 24 points a game on us each time we played him, and you know the Cavs noticed that. So in my eyes, I think it was a definite win, and
definitely great, yeah.
You know, so we all think it's a win. And you guys in the comments, let us know what you guys think. You know, in the comments, was this a win or was this a loss? And we appreciate y'all. We coming back on another stream and do a Super Bowl preview real quick. And so if y'all want to catch us on another stream in about 5 minutes, we're gonna be in another stream Super Bowl preview. All right. Thanks you guys, and see you on the stream. Appreciate it.